What's up, you guys? Today I'm gonna organize my pantry. It is an absolute disaster. As you can see, everything is just kind of thrown in there and strewn about. There's no organization or rhyme or reason to it, and it was just really starting to bother me. So I got some more glass jars from Amazon so that I could make everything look cohesive and make sense. It comes with these little stickers on it and then some that you could write your own in, which is really cool. Now, to be honest, when I got these ones, I was kind of disappointed because the size of them is fine. I just thought they were going to be thicker and bigger, but whatever, we'll make it work. Then I got this thing to organize my tea bags, and these ones I have got before. So they were the perfect size, and I really had no problems with those at all. I only got 6 of them because I didn't really need that many more, and I didn't think that many more would fit in my pantry, to be honest. Now, maybe this is a little weird because I'm sure they're clean or whatever, they're new, but I don't know who's touched them. I don't know how long they've been sitting around. I just don't know anything, and instead of not knowing, I would just rather know that they are clean. So I went ahead and cleaned all of them, the caps and everything, just so I didn't have to worry and think about it. You know, my food is going in there, so I just wanted to make sure that everything was how I wanted it. Then now we're just gonna go ahead and take everything out of there, absolutely everything, and then I'm gonna wipe down the inside of them. Now, when I first moved in, I did this. I wiped down all the cabinets and everything, but it's been about 6 months, maybe even longer, and there were just some crumbs in there still, so I figured if I'm gonna be cleaning everything out and reorganizing it, I might as just, well, really make sure that everything is clean. The 7th generation, you know, they're good for the environment, blah, 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 whatever, but I still went back in with a paper towel afterwards, a wet one, and made sure that everything really was kind of taken care of because, you know, my food is going to be in here, so I don't want to leave anything that's going to be causing problems or make anyone sick. Who knows? Look at the absolute mess that was my pantry, all laid out on the counter. First, we're going to organize the tea bags. Okay, they fit in perfectly in this little thing. I actually couldn't believe it. I think it is so cute. I'm really about wooden things and glass things, so that just fit my aesthetic perfectly. I grabbed a little notebook so that I could write down what I needed or what I was missing, you know, things like that. Normally, when I'm filling up these jars, I would dump out what's in the bottom and put the new bag in first and then put the old stuff back on the top because I want to use the old stuff first, right? But like things like nutritional yeast or hemp seeds or pumpkin seeds, there's just certain things that I know I'm going to use a lot. So I'm not really worried about that with everything. The quinoa, oh my gosh, I filled it up so big. It was like literally perfect. I don't know how I did that, to be honest. But then the flour, I was kind of transferring things from jars as I was going. Would not recommend doing that with the flour, as you can see. But I didn't really know what I wanted in what jar, so sometimes I would put it in a jar and then I would be like, oh my goodness, I do not want it in this jar, so let me change it around. But luckily I have these things that came with a cool little white marker that I can write things on. Be careful though, because it smudges really easily. Like I had to rewrite it or whatever. With these, I'm putting the expiration dates on them as well. Certain things that I know I'm not going to use as quickly, I want to put the expiration date on it because otherwise it'll just sit in my pantry for who knows how long. And then, you know, what if I use it and it's too old? Spaghetti did not fit, and that was kind of annoying. Okay, so I need to go to the store and grab some things before I can finish. So went to Sprouts. I grabbed, what did I get? Almond flour, I think. This I ended up transferring again. Like I said, guys, wouldn't recommend transferring flour from jar to jar. But anyways, I got pumpkin seeds also, I believe. And just a few other things that I knew that I would use a lot of that I just wanted to have on deck. I was going to get a lot more stuff, but it just wasn't necessary at the moment. There's things that I'm not really using, or rice that, yeah, I could have got more of, but I didn't really need it just sitting around. And you know, it gets kind of expensive after a while. But luckily Sprouts has something where you can just go and get what you need instead of having to buy a whole bag of stuff. So I did that with like my flour and a lot of different things. The brown sugar, man, I hope these jars keep it from getting crunchy. I don't know if that's a thing that brown sugar just does, but whatever. Then I got some cocoa or cacao or whatever. I like to use that for different sweets or even making homemade hot chocolate, but that is really cool. This gluten powder, or gluten flour, excuse me, I used it once, but it's still good, and I never know when I'll come across an Instagram recipe when I need it, so whatever. I ended up putting all of like my flours and my sugars in the big jars, and some pasta and the oats obviously, but then everything else kind of fit into the little jars. So now, wow, we're gonna go back in and finally make it make sense. Some of these bottom jars still don't really make sense, but I've just put leftover things that didn't fit in the jars in there, and you can see me organizing and reorganizing because I didn't really know how I wanted to put it. I'm sure I'll spend the next few days making it make sense, but for now, this works. It was really this top drawer that I specifically wanted to look a certain way, so I started lining them all up. Like I said, I was super annoyed at the size of these. The height was fine, but I just wanted them to be the same thickness as the other jars, and they were not. But you know what? I think it made sense, and not how I'm organizing right now. This did not make sense. So you can see I kind of changed my mind halfway through and put all the tall ones in the back. And I think even aesthetically, that just looks better, right? So I was surprised at how perfectly everything fit. It was like almost like it was meant to be. I did miss a few things while I was labeling, so I had to go in and label them as I was kind of putting them in there. That's whatever. Switch them around for kind of usage. What I didn't want to forget was in there, or things that I thought I would use a lot, I just put them in the front. And look how nice that looks, you guys. I was so proud of myself. The second one is just like extra items, pantry items that we all need, like beans and canned items. I would love eventually for this whole second row to be full of canned items. You know, you never know what could happen. I think it's always good to have your pantry stocked up with non-perishable food items. So eventually I'll get there. I finally found my cashews that I was looking for. I make an amazing vegan cheese out of cashews, so I always got to make sure that that's stocked up. But anyways, then some of these items I had taken off of the counter to kind of clean it up. So I had a lot of things on the countertop that just didn't need to be in there, like bread and tortillas and stuff. So I just put everything in there because there's finally room for it. It was so exciting to get this all cleaned up and put together. What do you guys think of this look? Would you ever try something like this? I love the glass. This is still pretty unorganized, but you know what? We're working with it and we got to start somewhere. So what do you guys think?